Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. In today's riff lesson, I'm going to teach you the main riff for Message in a Bottle by The Police. Now this, at time of recording in December 2025, this is part of my Riffmas series, which is an 8-part series where I'm essentially teaching you some riffs so you can take part in a competition to win some gear. I'm giving away a couple of TC electronic pedals. I'm even giving away an Enya carbon fibre travel guitar. That's all to do with my Facebook group, which is the first link in the description. Head to the description down below if you want to learn a little bit more about how all that works and potentially if you'd like to win one of these prizes. It's really good fun. It's definitely worth checking out. The second link in the description, you'll be able to find a downloadable PDF for this lesson. It's completely for free. It'll take you to my website. You don't have to give me your email address. You don't have to sign up for anything. You just literally go onto the website and click download PDF. It's really that straightforward. So let's have a look at what we're up against. Now, Andy Summers is an awesome guitar player. I don't think anybody would dispute that, but he does a lot of these kind of like stretchy chords that's almost like you're almost stacking two power chords on top of each other, and whether it's this which we're going to look at today, or even something like he uses this shape a lot, and it's definitely worth looking at. Even if you're not a massive Police fan, it does come up elsewhere, so it's definitely worth checking out. So let's have a look here at the very, very first bit. Now, I've stacked the first two chords together. The rhythm's a little bit odd, which we'll get into, but have a look at this. We're going to have a look at the first three notes here. So with the index finger, I'd like you to play the 4th fret, so C sharp. I'd like you to play the 4th fret of the A string. I'd then like you to stretch, if you can, and play the 6th fret of the string below that on the D string. And then I'd like you to play the 8th fret of the G string. Now, I'm probably not setting the best example here because I've got hands the size of shovels and I can reach that. Don't get me wrong, it's not comfortable, but I can do it. Now, if you've got smaller hands or your hands just won't stretch that far, don't worry about spanning all 3 frets, but try and get them. Try and get the same legato style, but just sort of put them on the fretboard when you need them. It is a little bit trickier to do, but if your hands are physically just unable to stretch that far, that's the best that you can do. I don't think Andy Summers is blessed with massive hands either, to be honest. I could be Reddit will get really cross with me if that's not the case. But what I'd like you to do, whether you're spanning it and you're playing it as like a static chord, or whether you're doing one note at a time, hook or by crook, I'd like you to play 4th fret, 5th fret, 8th fret for me. And I'm using economy picking for this. I'm picking down, down, up. Now this shape, essentially, we're going to play in 4 different places for the entire riff lesson. So we're going to then move to the A. We're going to play an A. We're going to play this E note here. And then we're going to play a D. The chord is basically root, perfect 5th, major 2nd, or major 9th, let's say. And we've got 5, 7, 9. Now, if you have a look at the rhythm underneath, the first 3 notes are what we call quavers. They last for half a beat, okay? The next sort of chord, where we move to the A chord, this is a crotchet, and what this means is this 5th fret lasts for twice as long as any other the other notes on this slide. So instead of rushing through that 5th fret, doesn't sound right, does it? I'm going to take my time on this 5th fret. It's not much, I'm just hanging on it for a split second longer, but it makes all the difference. Pause the video and get that under your fingers. We've got another slide that's very similar to this, and that's the whole riff. If we're feeling brave, let's have a go over here. Okay, so what's going to happen here, this 7th fret is part of the next phrase, but because that one lasts for a crotchet as well, it actually bleeds over into the next bar. So I call these washing lines. Its Sunday name's called a tie, and what that means is you're going to play this note and you need to hold it for a full beat, and there's only half a beat left in this bar, so you've got to borrow from Peter to pay Paul, if that makes sense. You don't need to pick this 7th fret again, okay? So you're going to play this 7 just like you've done all the others. 9th fret, 11th fret. So we've come from the 5th fret, that A chord, We're then going to move it up to B and play 7, 9, 11. 7th fret of the E, 9th fret of the A, 11th fret of the D. And you see how I'm dragging on this note as well. This note's so crotchet, it still lasts a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take that entire fret to arguably the most awkward one of them all, which is down to the 2nd fret to F sharp. I'm playing an F sharp, a C sharp, and then I'm going to play a G sharp here on fret 2 of the E, fret 4 of the A, and then fret 6 of the D. But then what's this? This is called a slide. So when two notes have like a line between them. So we're going to play the 6th fret. And we're just going to do a little bit of an elbow transposition. We're just going to kick it up a fret. And what that does is, it almost puts you back, it just gives you that extra fret to almost get back to that C sharp and start it all over again. What I'd like you to do, if you can for me, just pause the video and let's just spend a good couple of minutes. And again, I can't stress enough, if you can't do the stretch like I can, if you have to play it kind of plinky plonky to start with to get it under your fingers, and that's the best that you can do with what you've been graced with, I'd much rather you do that than not take part at all, okay? And your hands do stretch over time. I think that's a conversation that nobody has online in your guitar lessons. Your hands will learn to stretch that. I couldn't do that. I've not always been able to stretch that far. I remember trying to learn Smells Like Teen Spirit and learning that power chord at the bottom of the neck for the first time and thinking it was the most difficult thing in the world. But over time, your hands do you learn to stretch them a little bit more. So please be patient. This riff has got loads of, it's like eating your vegetables. There's a lot of really good stuff in this that you can take away subliminally from this. Start with it really slow. And just gradually speed it up as you get comfy. Now have a look at me picking. For every one of those sequence, those 3 notes, I'm going down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. And even though I've got 4 notes there, I don't need to do anything for that last note because I'm physically sliding at her. Such a fun riff to play. Right, tones-wise, Andy Summers used Strats and Telecasters mainly, or that's what the internet leads me to believe anyway, in the live clips I've seen of him playing. And he had quite a sort of used a lot of kind of like rack effects and pioneering kind of guitar effects for the 80s. I'm using a Boss Katana today. I'll put a photo of my settings on screen now. Basically a clean tone with just a little bit more treble and a little bit more bass than I'd normally use. But I'm also using the modulation section. This is a Mark II Katana, and I'm using the green modulation setting, which is chorus. If you think of chorus, you think of things like Come As You Are. Andy Summers liked to use that as well as Phaser, and you think of like Walk on the Moon and all that kind of stuff. There's loads of like modulation effects. I think it was the Electric Mistress was that pedal. But anyway, we're digressing. I'm using a Fender Stratocaster on setting number 4, which is a mixture of the outside pickups. It's the Sultans of Swing kind of out of phase sound. If you're using a Gibson style guitar with 2 humbuckers, I'd put the pickup selector in the middle, just to give you that little bit of extra variation. So, what did you think of that? I think I'd quite like to do a full lesson on this song. If you'd like me to do a full lesson, please let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you want to win some free stuff, including a couple of KGS t-shirts and maybe even a guitar, head to the first link in the description and enter the competition. It'll be well worth your time. I'll see you in a couple of days for the next instalment of Riffmas. Thank you very much.